Jeanette Ortega is the founder and CEO of Ultimate Virtual Solutions. Her team of virtual experts specialize in providing coaches, speakers, online service providers, and trainers with the technical support, email marketing, online course delivery, and training. UVS prides itself on meeting deadlines, over-delivering, and paying close attention to detail. So we're going to talk about something that I love, which is using a virtual summit to build your email list. It's a great topic. You know, funny story. Back when I was just launching, I had an email list of 0, and I had just given birth to a brand new, beautiful baby boy. And I decided I needed to do something to build a list. So I did a little expert summit and wore pajamas every day on the bottom, but got dressed up on the top. And, I literally had been home from the hospital for a week and did this expert summit. And then I had at the end of it, an email list of 500. And I remember that feeling of I'm in business. This is all going to work out because now I have an email list and I can make this work. So I'm excited to chat about this. It's such an important topic.
Yes, definitely. Especially nowadays with everything that's going on. And all the live events having to be canceled and everything having to go virtual. It's more now than ever. People need to know that this is out there and this is an option.
Yeah, it is. And it's a great option too. So let's kind of chat through what you're seeing that's working well in virtual events right now, and maybe some things that you think we should look at differently that maybe people are making mistakes on.
Well, what's working well is just, it seems like more people now know what a virtual summit is.
Yeah.
It's been around for a while already, but it seems that now with everything going on, more people are learning about it. And so they're finding that they kind of had to move this way. There's speakers who are losing, their entire income, tens of thousands of dollars for paid professional speakers. And they got to replace that. They need to replace that income. And then there's also big corporations, big companies that usually have these big events, and they've had to take it virtual.
Yeah.
So what seems to be working now is that people know what it is right now.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's not a lot of informing people lately, is informing them what it is, what a virtual summit is. It's more of a why you need to start using them, how you can use them to build your email list, how to build your authority, how to be seen, and how to start getting paid again, because you may not be bringing in an income right now. So that's pretty much it right now. I think everybody seems to be doing a good job. I've seen how some of these bigger companies have done the virtual summits and actually had virtual booths, which is something I personally hadn't seen in all the different summits that I'd worked at the back end of. I hadn't seen that in previous years. Now the bigger companies, the bigger organizations, associations that are hosting them, they were still able to have sponsors, and now they had their virtual booths. So they brought in a whole nother element to summits that I don't believe existed before.
Yeah, it's kind of new. And the software is getting a lot better too, to be able to hold more interactive type events. So I've been doing virtual events and virtual summits since we launched our business in 2012. And for me, the draw was always that I don't have to travel because I do have a lot of kids, and so I get to be home with them. And also, it's the cost of putting on a summit is so much lower than the cost of putting on a big event. So we had over 700 people register for this summit, and to host an event with potentially 700 people, that's, $10,000, $20,000, $40,000 event. That's quite pricey to do. So it's really cost effective, which I think is another benefit. Do you want to talk a little bit about the process that you use as you're putting together an event?
First and foremost, you need to know who your target is. Who are you trying to target? What is your topic? What is the summit around? What is the theme? If you have the theme, then and the target market, then you can reach out and see who would be a good guest, who would be very good at presenting and their knowledge and providing tons of value to the participants. So then you would just go into that, and then thereafter, once you start getting those people, there's a lot of organization, there's a lot of going back and forth, and it also depends if the summit is, you know, doing it live as you're doing it here, which is run completely different as to where it's pre-recorded, which I would say 90% of the summits are pre-recorded and then aired between a certain time frame. So the technologies will be totally different. So you would have to be clear from the beginning as to how you want it to deliver it, how many guests you're going to want to have. Like I said, the main thing is, who are you trying to reach?
Yep.
And then it's for the back end, which is what I did for so many years, is doing all the technical part of delivering that
There's event. A good bit of that too. It's,
yes.
I will say, out of all the strategies that I shared earlier this morning, the Expert Summit is the one that requires the most amount of work on the back end, and is definitely something that I could not put on by myself. Like,
right.
You might see me doing all of the interviews, but I could not put it on by myself. And so it is something that is, but it also brings you the highest volume of leads in one shot.
Yes, exactly. And a lot of webinars, I'm sorry, not webinars, just because she was talking about webinars right before me. So a lot of other benefit of the virtual summits is bringing in, you know, extra money by selling the recordings. Some people will bundle it and sell it with, you know, recordings, transcripts, and other bonuses. They'll have, you know, the fast action bonus where they can, you know, if you get it at this price, then you get, you know, a certain amount of bonuses. And then there's the aspect now that these new associations and new organizations that are doing it is by collecting money by having sponsors.
Yep. And
doing the virtual kind of booth thing coming around and kind of commercials during the summit. So yeah, it just takes a big team to put it on, but it is definitely, if done correctly, worth it in the end.
Exactly.
I would think.
Well, no, I mean, our last summit in the spring generated $70,000 within a month of the event, and then in the month following, the 2 months following, about another 40. So in one quarter, it generated over 6 figures. So if you're thinking, our Expert Summit's worth it? Yes. But I will say, I think you have to have an understanding of what they're great at and what they're not great at. So what they're really great at is lead generation. And then, like we've talked, and I feel like all these pieces come together with this. We've talked about having a sales strategy and having a sales system. If you don't have that, it doesn't really matter how many leads you have if you don't have a strategy to convert them. And most of the sales from your Expert Summits happen after, not during. For me, at least, the bulk of the sales happen after the event, after they have a little bit of time to process, and after we've, established a little bit of a relationship. Then that's when the sales start to roll in.
Yes, I completely agree. And another thing is, I've had clients who have come to me and said, I put on a virtual summit, it's a complete flop, it's not that great, blah, blah, blah. But when you look deeper into the issue, they may not have been clear as to who they were serving, and what their message was in the theme of the theme of the summit. And another thing is, if you don't have the right marketing, nobody's going to know your summit is going on.
Yep.
If the promotion is not going on, if the guests are not doing their due diligence and promoting as they've agreed upon, then it's not going to be successful. So you need to pay attention to who you are inviting to be on your summit, and make sure that they are people who are trustworthy and are going to be able to fulfill their obligation to the host. And
people. So I have a client who did a summit. She had like 200 people on. She was very disappointed in it. And I was like, okay, let's look at what didn't go well. And we talked it through, and she had done everything except communicate with her partners. I'm like,
oh no,
the most important part. She just sent them all their stuff. I mean, beautiful deliverables, right? Beautiful deliverables, great graphics. the landing page was tight, the copy was tight, but she didn't what we call babysit the partners, which is understanding that this summit is not your number one priority. It's our number one priority. And so our job is to communicate with you and say, hey, this is how many registrations you've got, and this is where we're at with our goal, and this is our promotion day, and have, it's our job to communicate that and make it as simple as possible, but really help to keep those lines of communication open with the partners. So she redid it, and her second summit killed it and generated like 40,000 in sales. And she was super happy with it. And the only difference was that keeping the lines of communication open with the partners, because you've got to understand that you don't bring somebody on as a guest to your summit that just has a great message. You have someone come on who's got a great message and wants to be a promotion partner with you and is willing to follow through with what they say they're going to do. That's a great summit guest.
Yes, definitely. And people take for granted that you have to build those relationships. And that's part of creating a summit, is building those relationships with your guests speakers, because you want to be able to kind of develop maybe a JV partnership with them going forward. Maybe you could be a guest on their summit. You can promote for them. They can promote for you, so it's also a part of relationship building.
Absolutely. And, you mentioned that most people pre-record theirs. I used to actually, back in the day, I would have them just send me a training, and they would pre-record with their slides and do the training. And then what I realized is I'm not getting any interface time. And so I'm missing out on great relationships. And that's one of my favorite things that comes out of the summits is, yes, it's a lot of leads, but it's also really great relationships with people that we can then collaborate in the future. Or, I speak at their event, they speak at mine. Like, it's opened so many doors and expanded my business network. So I'm definitely a big fan of summits. And I think you should all consider it. I'm not saying a summit is for everybody, but I think it should be on your short list of consideration. So I'd love for you to, Jeanette, just share with everyone how they can get in touch with you if they want to dig in a little bit more and see if a summit is something that's a good fit for them.
Well, I have a free offer. It's just a basic checklist. It's a bit.ly /virtual_summit_checklist, which luckily Stephen is putting here in the chat. Yes. And also you can visit us at ultimatevirtualsolution.com, no S at the end, ultimatevirtualsolution.com. And just know that a virtual summit has a lot of moving parts, but it's nothing to be scared of. Mm-hmm. You can't do it alone. Mm-hmm. You probably can, but it may not be successful.
You will not like it.
Yes, you will be miserable.
Yeah, you won't like it. You want to have help on this.
Yes, definitely. And it takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. I don't care how many people are out there teaching, that it can be done this quickly. If you really want to do this right, it's going to take you at least 90 days minimum.
Oh, we are 3 months is my rule.
Yes.
We do. It's a 3-month process. And that's why we do one a quarter and not one every other month, because you can't do them justice if you're trying to do them without enough planning. So
exactly.
Awesome. I love it. I hope everyone will go and check that out and kind of get that checklist, start looking at it, start considering it, see. It really could change the face of your business if you do it well and you plan it out well. So thank you so much, Jeanette, for being on with us. We really appreciate your time and your expertise.
Thank you, Amy. Awesome. Thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful evening.